Hi everyone, my name is David Thorne, and I want to share with you how to get a free transcript from your sermon. So if you go to SermonSpark AI, and then what will happen is you're going to scroll down to My Transcripts. Once you go to My Transcripts, all you have to do is click New Transcript. Now, what you're going to do is there are multiple ways that you can upload a transcript. You can share a YouTube link, you can upload a video or audio file, or you can provide a transcript that you have yourself by just copying and pasting the text that you have of your transcript. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a transcript from Fierce Church here. I'm going to copy that. That's Pastor Mark Carter. So I'm going to copy that. The speaker, I'm going to mention it's Mark Carter, in case that's helpful for the AI, large language model, to know. And I'm going to call this Fierce Church 730.24. I'm going to say version 2 because I've actually already done this once so you can see what happens at the other end. Hit next. And what it's going to do is it is downloading the video, and I'll show you. I'll go to My Transcripts here and you can see, okay, well, it's ready for trimming. So once you upload a video, the next thing you need to do is actually trim that video. So let's just, this video here is the actual sermon, but let's just show you how trimming would work.
You've probably seen one of these before. You might have gotten one in the mail like I have.
So let's say I want to trim it, and I notice it's 0.03. So we'll just say 0.03, and at the end, at the end, we notice, let's just say it ended at 2909. Well, we'll put it at 2909, and then we get it next. Now, for this version, it actually is the entire sermon, so we don't actually need to do that. It is 2909. That's the whole sermon. So I'm just going to hit next. And then once it does that, and we've told it what part of the video we want, it will extract that and begin creating the transcript. Now I'm going to show you, I've actually already done this. So here is Fierce Church 740. It's complete. And here is the transcript. Now, I can actually write in this. So if I felt like if I read through this and I notice something is not quite right, then I could go in here and fix it. Every once in a while, like you might notice a word isn't quite right, or maybe you said something that wasn't quite right, then you can go in here and fix it. I mean, sometimes the word signups has a little hyphen between it. That's one of those examples. But let's just say you're happy with it. So let's go ahead and just save it. And it is saved. Now, you'll see right here, we can do something with this sermon. Now, what you could do is if you wanted to, you could download the text of this transcript and then go to something like Claude and do all kinds of Claude related stuff with your sermon. So, or copy it. So I'm going to copy it. I can go to Claude. This is a sermon. I'm going to paste it in there. Please give me a summary. So it knows that's a sermon, and I just said, give me a summary of the sermon. I just copied it, pasted it into Claude, and it is currently thinking. Oh. I guess there we go. Okay, I hit enter. I must have got mad at me or something, but there we go. This is a summary sermon. Give me a summary. Very simple. It is thinking. It is thinking. While it's doing that, let me just jump back in here. I just wanted you to see that is a thing you could do. You could copy the text and then put it into another large language model. But there are 5 tools that we have in here that you can take your sermon transcript and then do something with it. We have in here, create a sermon summary. So let's generate a sermon summary. And it is doing that. Let's jump back to Claude to see. Oh, Claude must be thinking. It must be a little bit slow right this second. And so is SermonSpark. There we go. SermonSpark is ready. Claude is still thinking. Here's a short summary, a medium summary, and then a longer summary. The idea here is that you could take these summaries, put them into your YouTube videos, put them on your website, post them on a Facebook post, however you want to do it with your sermon summary. Let's go back to our transcript, and I'm just going to click these three little dots, use transcript with tool. Let's actually create a devotion. Now, here's what's kind of cool. If you choose a one-day devotion, it's going to give you a more in-depth devotion that you could print out on like a one-page piece of paper or a PDF, or create an electronic PDF that you can send people to kind of really dig deep in response to the sermon. But if you do any other amount of days, up to let's say 4 days, you're going to get shorter devotional material. And the idea here is that you as a church can copy these and then send them out as SMS notifications to your church, text them out, or you could email out or include them in some kind of daily email or as a social media post. But you can see here, day 1, here's based on the sermon. Here's a scripture, a reflection, an application, and then a prayer. And it just gives you something that you can think about all throughout the week so that your sermon lives beyond Sunday. That's the idea there. Let's actually go to a blog creator. Now, this time, I just clicked on the tool I want to use. So here's our reach tools, and there I clicked on Sermon Blog Creator. Now I want to select a transcript. Here is Fierce Church 7/30/24. I want to simply generate a blog from that sermon. It is going to work on that. While it's doing that, you'll notice that there are 2 other tools that we haven't gone through yet, a group question generator and a social media post ideas. Those are just also tools that you can just choose the sermon you want to use. And the cool thing about all of this is by Monday morning, as soon as your sermon is posted to YouTube, you could have all kinds of content that you can use throughout the entire week. All right, so let's look at the blog. Here's a title, The Transformative Power of Baptism, More Than Just Getting Wet. Here's an opening idea. Here are some headers. And then at the end, we should have some kind of applications or prayers, from that. Let me just show you the group question generator because this is kind of cool. One thing I do want to note is that the way SermonSpark works is you get a certain number of credits. I have a lot of credits in here because I am testing this platform a lot. But you'll notice when you sign up, you'll get a certain amount of credits that replenish each month. And then the use of each tool costs a certain amount of credits. So here we are with our group question generator. Now I could just simply provide a Bible verse or a topic and then create group questions from that. But actually what I want to do is I want to provide a transcript of my sermon and use that to generate just Bible study questions. So we're just thinking about it. The cool thing about this is this will help your small group leaders or micro church or missional community or Bible study, whatever your church calls your groups that are smaller. This will give you some questions that are based directly from the sermon that you can use. Here's an opening question. Have you ever received an unexpected fine or penalty for something you didn't realize you had done wrong? How did it make you feel? And then just a general observation from the sermon if you want to ask something directly related to the sermon. or just start going into some more personal and action related questions, ending with a sample prayer, which is pretty cool. You can copy this, put it on a fancy PDF, send it out Monday morning to your small group leaders, and very quickly you have some tools and resources that your church can use to, again, to help your sermon live beyond Sunday. This transcript tool and the related tools that we have using transcripts, we are so excited about. We think this is going to help churches all over the country, help pastors to get the transcript of their sermon, to get that transcript into a large language model to help your sermons reach more people week after week after week. We think this is a discipleship type tool, and we can not be more excited to share this with you. We hope it's a blessing and it's helpful to you and your church.